Hey everybody, John the Other here, obviously. And the premise of this video is that we are now living in a society with the rule of law being broken. Now, it still is superficially operating, clearly. There's still police, there's still courts, there's still local government and provincial and state government and all that stuff. But it's increasingly clear, at least to me, that the rule of law, the thing that we have all relied on, being the unifying environment that we get to operate within that makes life and business and interactions and dispute resolution predictable for everybody under one understood set of rules, is increasingly not operable anymore. It's what's being pushed by the activist left, the media elite, and in many cases elements of national and state government and local government, is that the rule of law operates for some people and not for others. Operates some of the time and not other times. It's no longer a reliable environment in which to operate, which means that people doing anything, doing business, engaging in dispute resolution, engaging in romantic pursuits, engaging in homesteading a house, farming, trade, business, manufacturing, buying and selling goods, collecting debts, and so on, all of these areas, and in particular resolving disputes of violent or criminal behavior from other people, can no longer rely on the operating environment of one rule of law for everybody. So how are people going to manage disputes absent a functional and reliable rule of law? Well, the answer being pushed is vendetta violence, vigilante violence. That's the answer being pushed by the activist left, and indeed pushed by the enablers of the activist left in government. The catch and release system that was run by the district attorneys in Portland and other cities where there was rioting. The police would arrest violent criminals, and the district attorneys would release them as if they were doing catch and release at a fishing tournament. It was ridiculous. That's not an environment anybody can operate in predictably and have a productive, non-destructive life. So clearly the violent vendetta, eye for an eye, they kill one of ours, we kill one of them, Old Testament style justice being pushed, that violent tribal retribution style of dispute resolution, is not just not a very good option, it's extremely stupid and dysfunctional, and I think it should be rejected with maximum velocity. But that leaves the question, well, okay, in the absence of that and in the absence of the rule of law, how do we manage disputes? Well, I think I have an answer. My brand new idea was not new at all. It was a medieval idea, and it's this: administrative rules for dispute resolution within what I will call trade associations. Now, trade associations is actually probably the wrong term for individuals, because this is actually something that operates in the real world and has done for hundreds of years since the medieval period in European history. It's how international corporations manage their business disputes, how they manage contract disputes, if there is a spoilage of cargo or any other mishap, any misbehavior by a crew or a captain, or how do they handle theft from a loading dock when they unload a ship and the local Teamsters Union steals a bunch of stuff. They manage all of this largely by the administrative rules of transnational trade associations, and this emerged starting in the medieval period. So we're going to have to, as individuals, start using organizations and administrative rule sets, something like this. And of course, you're not actually a member of an international steel trading association as an individual. You might work for one, but you are, as an individual, a person who traditionally has operated within the rule of law of your local government jurisdiction, and that's now unreliable. So what people are going to have to start doing is forming their own, for lack of a better word, trade associations. And it might be your church group. It might be a group of homesteading farmers, if that's something that you're interested in doing. It might be a heavy equipment service group, if you use heavy equipment or if you use trucks in what you do. It might be your martial arts organization if you're in MMA or some other form of martial arts. And I don't want to go exhaustively through all the different areas of activity because we'd be here all day. And people are going to start using this instead of the rule of law for managing disputes that are particular to the activities of that group. So instead of going to local government to manage where the property boundaries are between you and your neighbor and where the fence goes, you're probably going to, I hate to say it, something like an HOA, but managed not as a criminal enterprise the way an HOA usually is. And that's going to allow predictability for people to manage the normal disputes that happen all the time in normal transactions with other people, the normal interactions you have. So people are going to start forming what are functionally medieval guilds, or they might even reactivate defunct or archaic medieval guilds for this purpose, because the rule of law in their local political climate is no longer reliably operable. I think this is actually a much better option than what's being pushed by the activist left, which is what they're pushing is vendetta, vigilante, violent retribution as a way of resolving disputes of opinion, disputes of property boundaries. It's a much better option to manage it through the predictable rules of a guild association, a trade association, a neighborhood association, a farming association, a equipment mechanics association, or whatever is the particular group, and every person is going to be a member of multiple groups and manage their disputes within the rules of those groups. The alternative is that our world becomes more violent, more unpredictable, unable to do business or earn a living, or unable to operate in a predictable environment. Everybody's life is going to become more impoverished, more unpleasant, more brutal, and shorter. And I don't think anybody wants that. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. I hope you'll give your opinion in the comment section. Thanks to everybody for helping support the channel through Patreon and Subscribestar, and hitting the like button and the subscribe button, all that bell notification stuff. And thanks for watching, and as always, have a lovely, lovely day.